Welcome back. You're watching Breakfast with Charlie State and Naga Munchetti. Time now is 6:30.
Let's go back now to our main story, that investigation by BBC News and the New Statesman magazine, which has found that dozens of babies may have survived if they'd received better maternity care at one of the largest hospital trusts in South East England, University Hospital Sussex NHS Foundation Trust.
The investigation found that at least 55 babies between 2019 and 2023 may have survived with better care at the trust. It also discovered that maternity errors have cost the trust almost £104 million over 4 years. A natural birth policy was pursued, which encouraged women to deliver vaginally, even when it wasn't safe to do so.
The organisation, which runs 7 hospitals in Brighton and West Sussex, said its goal was to provide safe maternity care, but it did not always get this right. We're joined now by Katie Fowler and Robert Miller, whose daughter Abigail died when she was 2 days old at Brighton's Royal Sussex County Hospital, one of the Trust's hospital. Katie, Robert, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for your time this morning. And I don't think there's ever a wrong time to say I'm so sorry for your loss. And that is clearly something that you live with all the time. Abigail was just 2.
Yeah, 2 days old. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Good morning. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. Carry on, Katie. I interrupted you.
It is something we live with every day. She's missing every day of our lives, and we know that she should be here, and that makes it unmeasurably harder to come to terms with her loss.
Can you give us a sense, Robert, of looking at what this investigation has found, BBC News and New Statesman's investigation about so many babies, 55, who could potentially have been saved? How does that leave you feeling?
I mean, firstly, it's outrageous that this was allowed to happen at the trust. There must have been warning signs, and this should have been resolved and improvements made a lot quicker than they have been. It leaves me feeling just so sad that we've lost our baby because of failings in care, and so many other people as well, you know, according to these reports. And it's just overwhelming, and yeah, I'm lost for words, really.
Robert, Katie, it's Naga. Good morning. I completely understand how difficult this is to talk about. The reason you are talking about this is that you don't want what happened to your family to happen to another family. And Katie, I think it's, as much as you are comfortable with, it's really vital that people understand how these things happen, how mothers, families, their distress, what they know about what is going wrong during childbirth with their bodies has been ignored, and that is what was happening to you. You were not listened to.
That's right. So Abigail was born exactly on her due date. I started having contractions in the early hours of the morning, and we contacted the Royal Sussex to let them know. I then had some bleeding, which was very unexpected and I found really frightening. So we phoned them again about that, and they advised that that was probably normal and to stay at home. We phoned them again about the bleeding and had the same advice. And then by the 4th phone call, I had become critically unwell. I was losing blood internally at that point. Abigail would have been deprived of oxygen. And we were advised to come into the hospital, but not to rush. And by the time we got there, I was in cardiac arrest. Abigail was born in the reception area. Rob heard both of us being resuscitated, and we were both put into induced comas, and I was brought out of my coma 2 days later to meet Abigail on the day that she died.
Katie, I'm sorry. I know Charlie is offered his condolences, and I agree. You know, you can never be more sorry about what you've been through. When now you look back, both of you, at the care you didn't receive or how you weren't listened to. Now there is a cross-party group of MPs urging the Prime Minister to set up an inquiry. And this, on the surface, sounds like a good thing, but you are concerned about who would lead this inquiry and how this would be done. Tell us what your concerns are and what you are pushing for.
We feel very strongly that an inquiry into Sussex needs to be led by someone that the families trust. Essentially, what's happened to us is our trust has been broken, not just in terms of the care that we receive, but the aftercare as well, and having to fight for answers. We've also had to battle the Department of Health to get to the point of having an inquiry granted. And so in order to have faith in it, we need it to be led by someone that we have complete trust in. And for us, that is Donna Rockenden. And she has said that she would be willing to take on the work. So that's who we really, really want to lead it. And that's who we're asking Wes Streeting to appoint.
And the other point to make on that is the trauma that all of the families in our group have been through. We can't risk being re-traumatised by someone starting afresh and not understanding the nuances of speaking to and understanding families that have gone through significant harm in maternity.
Yeah, it's a really important point you made, Robert. Can I just read to you, and you'll have heard this already, the response from the hospital trust. This is Dr. Andy Heaps, who said, "I want to say directly, we do not always get this right." He says, "As Chief Executive, I take responsibility for that. I'm deeply sorry for the pain and distress you experienced." The trust, he says, is now fully recruited, having hired 40 more midwives. And he goes on to say, "We recognise that there will always be more we can do to improve." Now, I know you've been through a dreadful ordeal and you're being incredibly brave by going public with everything that you've been through. Do you take any satisfaction from hearing those words from the now Chief Executive of the Trust?
It's good that they have recognised that harm has been caused, but their accountability needs to go further as a group, and I think as a trust, they need to understand what went wrong and how it went wrong, and we need reassurances that progress is being made as quick as possible to improve their maternity services.
Katie,
and to ensure it can't happen again.
Sorry, Katie?
And to ensure that it can't happen again, what have they put in place to make sure that their improvements stick? And have they solved all the problems that led to this huge loss of life?
Katie, Robert, I think everyone hearing and listening to you speak today will know this has not been easy for you to talk about. So we really appreciate you speaking to us this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.